Good Monday morning to all of you. This is Sunaina Bora, youth and parent coach from Athena Life Coaching. How is everyone doing this Monday morning? So the question for today asked by one of the parents in Athena's parenting community on Facebook is, I want to read out the question. How do I handle my aggressive teenager? So, teens, I'm going to talk about both boys and girls. I have a daughter who's 18 and a son who's 15. And I can tell you, both girls and boys can get aggressive. So, it's not always the poor boys get the flack for being the aggressive ones, but that's not always the truth. Even girls can get really catty and rude. So today's topic with regard to aggression in teenagers, the first and foremost point we have to realize is that, and I'm going through this, is there is a bit of, I'll be very personal today and talk about myself, and the personal part of today for me is my son is, so I'm just looking at my computer for any comments and stuff, so please ignore that. So the personal part of that is my son is 15 and a half. He's going to be 16 actually next month. And I am going through this huge denial where when I hug him, now my head comes onto his chest and I hear his heartbeat. You know, the doctors say that children sleep better when they hear the mother's heartbeat. Babies sleep better when you put them on your chest and bosom so that they hear the mother's heartbeat and therefore feel relaxed and calm and can sleep better. Now that my son has become 15 and 16, when I hold him tight, when I hug him yesterday or day before, I was hugging him and my head went onto his chest and I could hear his heartbeat. So it's a role reversal, and the mother in me went, oh my baby, it's the other way around. So the first point, and I make this mistake all the time. So yes, I'm a parenting coach, but I have my own kids, and there are times when the emotions take over so much that I myself go back into default mode of being that emotional parent, that I lose sight of the strategies that I teach my own clients. So I don't lie about who I am. Of course, I'm an aware parent. I always tell my clients the difference between me and you, the biggest difference is I'm an aware parent. So at that particular moment when my head was on his chest, I went, oh my poor baby, oh, he's not a baby anymore. So that is the number one point, is when we as mothers live in denial. I know what I tell him, kuchiku, my boo-boo, my sweetie, my noni. I say all these silly things to him. Why? Because he's my second born and I want to keep him frozen in that baby loop. And that's what we need to become really conscious of and realize maybe he doesn't like it. So I know that sometimes he tolerates me for doing this kuchiku rubbish, but most of the times he goes like, stop it. I'm like a grown man. So that's the number one point, is stop being in denial. Accept the fact that your baby has grown into a teenager. Saying that, the second point is, yes, your baby has grown into a teenager, but understand that he's not yet an adult. My son now is 5 feet, 8-9 inches. He's got a body of a teenager, but that doesn't mean, he's almost got a body of an adult, but that doesn't mean he is an adult. He's still a young boy. He's still a child. So in terms of responsibilities, please be clear that you are not loading your child with more responsibilities than is age appropriate. And I will share with you a couple who have come to me, and they just casually said to me that when we argue, our child takes sides and he says, oh, you're in the wrong or you're in the wrong. And I was shocked because their son is also 15-16 years old, and I said, but those shoulders are not old enough to bear the responsibility of your fights and trying to understand who is right and who is wrong. So number one point, understanding that your child is no longer your baby and is grown into a teenager, acceptance of that, stop being in denial. But the second point is also understand that he's a teenager in an adult's body. He's not an adult. He's got a long way to go. The third point being that long way to go, his brain is undergoing so many developmental changes. His prefrontal cortex is not yet developed enough to wire that, how your and my brain is wired to all the parts of our brains, so that we can regulate our emotions, we can be analytical, we can identify what is good or bad. Their emotional brain is more developed than their logical brain. So the third point is your child is genuinely, your teenager, going through brain development. And sometimes his reactions or aggressions that sound rude are coming from a point where his emotional brain has reacted more quickly than that part of the brain where he can access logic and so on and so forth. So just be mindful of that fact. I'm not saying that you bear all your child's tantrums and his bad behavior, but what I'm asking you to be cognizant of is, yes, your boy or your girl is going through development changes in his brain, in his bodies, in those crazy hormones that even if they want to control, they can't control. And what can you do in this matter is to bear in mind, what does my child need right now? So if your child is pushing against you, and I don't mean physical pushing, I mean the emotional pushing, and what he's demanding or expecting or wanting is some privacy, pick your battles, mums. Pick your battles and figure out, should I be giving my child this privacy? Like, I used to have this habit of walking straight into my son's room, and I realized he's not happy with me doing that. So he doesn't keep his room shut all the time, but at least I now make a lot of sound and I call his name before I enter, so that he gets that second to prepare himself, or if he's just sitting or whatever, he's now in an adult's body, right? So I need to respect his privacy. That's one thing. And the other thing is, how the lions, they mark their territory, and apparently in the lion world they can't. So your child is going through that a little bit. So he's marking his territory, and I'll come to the next point why. But your child is marking his territory, and his territory is his room, where like my son tells my helper, please don't clean my room, please don't clean the top of my table, because he's kept his books in a certain manner. Sometimes it's dusty, so when he's at home, I'll say, please can we now clean your table, because I am a little extra about cleanliness. So that's when I request him. But I have come to the point where I do not touch his drums or his computer or whichever way, because he really gets annoyed. Why? The next point. Why does he get annoyed? Because that is his way of saying, I am independent of you. Doesn't sound nice. It's okay. I'm saying it and I'm like, no, why am I saying this? I don't want to say this. But yes, it's again coming back to accepting that that's his way of showing independence and allowing him to feel that he owns his room, his computer, his things, and that I respect you, my dear son, that I'm not going to barge into your room or touch your things and so on and so forth. Yeah, so it's so important to allow your child that privacy. Coming to the next point is, what do we do with our teenage children that causes them to get so angry and aggressive? At every given point in time, whenever we get the opportunity, we are, I can only think of a Hindi word, but we are always nagging our child and making him or her feel that they are so wrong. We are overly critical about our children. Are you going to sit like this? Oh, look at your hair, it's overgrown. At least change your t-shirt. Is this the combination you're going to wear to go out? Oh God, look at your school uniform. You didn't put it for washing. You're going to wear this dirty uniform again? Look at those shoes. Just look at the mess in your room. Oh my God, your marks. Again? So what is this teenager who's grown from a little boy or a little girl into a young boy or a young girl on the brink of adulthood? He is feeling like he is all wrong. So when he goes to bed, what does he think or feel? I'm not doing anything right. Today I messed up with my clothes. Yesterday I dropped something. Day before my hair was terrible. Today my shoes didn't match my clothes and I looked so bad. That's how your child is going to bed every night with all the, my mother, I'm above 40. How above I'm not going to share here. But I am above 40 and a mum comes and stays with me and she'll say, and I'm like messing with my hair so much. And she's like, oh, you're going out? Are you not going to brush your hair? And I started doing that with my daughter. And then I had to stop myself. I said, oh my God, I'm turning into my mother. And I'm like, it's cool, it's chill, man. If she wants to go out with messy hair, I need to know which battles to fight with my kids. And really, if her hair is a bit of a mess, she's not in the mood to do up her hair, she's going to meet her friends. Yeah, when my kids go out with me, I might tell them that, I prefer if you wear this or do this. And they do listen to me. But I pick my battles. When they're going out with their friends or they're going to school and they're looking messy, boss, it's their life at some point. So we need to let them have some, next point, control. What are we doing? We are still... You've seen a puppet show where they do this behind, those guys are doing this and the puppets are dancing or jumping around according to this. And what we are doing right now, I think this is a brilliant analogy. What we are doing right now is we've got these threads. I hope you all have seen that, yeah? They go like this and then the puppets dance. So our puppets have actually come to life and they're looking up and they're going, boss, I want to break these strings off. So stop pulling. Or the parent-child relationship is such that the strings are still attached, but what are your puppets doing? They're no longer dancing like this to your tunes. They're going, I'm not going to dance. I'm not going to move my shoulders. Nope, we are not going to do anything. I am not listening to you, mother. I am not listening to you, father, because guess what? I am a grown-up puppet now and I am no longer going to listen to your controlling me. So that is what we are doing. We are deep inside of us. Think about this. Because I know while I'm talking, all my crap, if I might say, is showing up right now in front of my face, that I want to control my puppets. I want to control them as much as possible. So, please become aware of how much you are wanting to control, how much do they want to control, what is the tug of war between these puppet strings, and can you relinquish control and say to yourself, I trust my young teenager, my young daughter, my young son, my young teenager, based on the values I have taught him or her, based on the principles of our home, based on my parenting, our parenting so far. Can I trust my teenager to lead a good, responsible life from now on? So I'm not saying drop your threads completely. I'm saying just as a first step. First step. Eventually you will have to let go of the strings, yeah? Because what you're doing, you've taught them how to dance, you've taught them how to walk, you've taught them how to eat, you've taught them how to study, you've taught them how to sing. A time has to come when you need to remove, there are the rings, yeah, with the threads hanging. You need to remove them and they'll go to create their own puppet show, yeah? But in the meantime, I would invite you to look at your strings and say, can I keep holding them? So be kind to yourself, yeah? Be gentle with yourself. As I'm speaking to you, I'm speaking to myself. So be kind and be gentle to yourself. So hold on to those puppet rings and strings, but can you just relinquish control and just allow yourself to be a little more relaxed and say, I trust you and I know that you're going to do well. So I'm here around you, but I'm no longer going to control you like this. The threads are there, the connections are there. I'm not asking you to cut connections. They're there. But just to say, here. So what does your child do? They look up at your puppet strings and they go, oh, I got more space. Maybe I want to dance some more. Maybe I want to run some more. Maybe I want to sing some more. Maybe I just want to, this isn't so bad at all. So I don't need to become like this to fight this parent who's trying to control me. And what do they then begin to do? They then begin to relax and be more chilled. And then say, hey mom, hey pop, how are you guys doing? I'm here for you. So when you learn to relinquish control, you will realize how much of a relaxed feeling that will bring. Give me your feedback so far. What do you think? Is that true? Is that false? That when we are controlling our kids as little puppets, how are they going to feel? And then we need to acknowledge what they are going through. When you are telling them to do something or not do something, you have to at least have the understanding hat on that I know you want to continue to play your game. I get that you're angry, but right now I think it's time to switch it off. Or I understand that you're angry and in your anger you said those words to me. And when you are feeling better, maybe we can talk about it then. So I think it's important for teenagers to feel. You might not understand them all the time, Why won't you understand them? Because you still haven't done the 4-week parent coaching program that hundreds of parents are going through with me and opening their eyes to how it is to have children and how to overcome them. So there are some secrets that will never be told unless you enroll for the program, because that is my profession, right? That's what I teach my parents who come to me for. So you have to acknowledge your child's, teenager's emotions and tell them that they are angry or bitter or irritated or frustrated. That's cool, because that's them undergoing their own volatility. And yes, Alia here says, but the constant fear of them going in the wrong way always takes place. So we as parents, when we are operating from a place of fear, what we do is not balanced parenting, not conscious parenting, not aware parenting, but what we are doing is we are doing fear-based parenting. And in that approach, you can never ever create a family atmosphere in which your child will thrive academically or personally. I'm sorry, there is no other shortcut way of giving you an answer, except that Alia has said, yes, it's true how much we control. We only make them more angry, but the constant fear of them going in wrong way always takes place. So that fear is based on your past life experiences and the baggage you bring into the parenting space. And that's exactly what I help parents like you overcome in my 4-week parent coaching program. For parents who have been following me for over 6 months, please stop following me, because there has to come a time where you have to question yourself and say, am I going to continuously be the same parent and therefore strain the relationship between me and my children? Or am I going to Sunana and enrolling for the 4-week parent coaching program and learn how to become a better parent by the strategies she has taught, by the hundreds of parents who have undergone that program and have vastly improved their relationship with theirs. There are parents who have undergone the program in this very group, and they will hopefully comment and tell you how their journey has changed with their children. And that can only happen through self-work. I'm sorry to say, there isn't any shortcut. This constant fear can only come when you get an understanding of what you are doing with your negative baggage and how it's impacting your current parenting and how you need to let that go. And that's where I help you in my 4-week parent coaching program. So if you want to sign up for it, my fees are going up again because I have so much. I'm completely booked up actually in March. I only have one more place available for my 4-week parent coaching program. So if you want to enroll for it, either put it in the comments below or email sunanaathena@gmail.com. And the last point is, you have to make your teenager feel heard and understood. So if your teenager says, oh, I want to go for a party on Wednesday and Thursday night and I'm only going to come back at 2 a.m. Instead of saying, so what are they doing? They're pushing, because they've grown into this bigger body. They think now they can protect themselves, look after them. So they're pushing for more independence. They're pushing the boundaries, which is normal. But what is not normal when you turn around and you say, are you stupid? Do you think I'm just going to allow you? Do you think I am mad, parent? And what will happen? The child will then have a more belligerent reaction to your reaction. Instead of that, what else could you say to you can say, I understand that you want to stay out late or you want to go for a party. Let's have a discussion. What are the details? Where are you going? Who are you going to plan to hang out with? Understand what's going on for him. Understand his position, that maybe out of 10 of them, 6 of them are going for a party and they've all planned together to be out till 2 a.m. At least understand or pretend. If you can't understand, moms, the shortcut is pretend to understand what your child is trying to communicate to you. Because when you do not make that attempt to understand your child, when he's communicating to you, guess what? Your child will shut the communication gates. How does your angry teenager, aggressive teenager do that? Your daughter or son will slam the door in your face, go, whatever I say, you never understand me. This is such a waste of time. This is their reaction to you. Why? Because in the first place, when they came to you with a request and asked for something, you turned around and you told your child, oh, I think you are crazy. And guess what? A lot of teenagers that I coach tell me that they think their parents are crazy. Why are their parents crazy? Because instead of trying to attempt to understand their desires, instead of trying to make an attempt to understand what they want, parents are so busy managing their own fear, and in most cases they can't manage their fear, that they react so negatively, running their child down. So the teenager feels like you have not heard him, not understood him, and you have gone back to reverting to him as a little baby girl or a baby boy. They feel insulted, they feel slighted, they feel you do not respect the fact that they have grown up. So listen to your child's request, understand what is going on, what are his demands, what are his requests, and sit down and have a calmer and cooler interaction with your child, so your child feels that you are at least trying to understand him and therefore become calmer. Here we have Nashwa, who is commenting so kindly. Sunaina's 4-week parenting program is transformational. If you haven't done it, you are missing out a lot. Thank you, Nashwa, for making that comment, because Nashwa came to me for exactly the reason we are speaking about today, because she had issues with her teenage son. And through the parenting program, she realized, and her husband realized, that by changing themselves, it reached such a wonderful point that their teenage son, who was not listening to them, who had literally shut down all communication, there was so much of stress and anxiety, began to just be so relaxed and calm that he began to sit down, hang out with them and chill out with them. So if that's what you want, then that's what you need to do. Parents, the only way to calm your teenage son is to be able to understand your teenage son or daughter. And that's what I help you to do through my 4-week parent coaching program. So going through today's stuff, like I said, instead of making your young man turn not accepting and being in denial that he's a young man and treating him like a baby, I'm guilty of doing that, and I have to keep stopping myself. Look at him, that the young child that he is. Saying that, also understand that he is growing into an adult, into a young man, and he or she is going through their own hormonal growth phase, where their prefrontal cortex is yet trying to connect itself to various parts of the brain, but they can't always access their logical mind like you and I hopefully can do, right? But a lot of times we parents also don't use that logical mind. What they access very quickly is their emotional brain, and that is why they are more reactionary than adults. Saying that, give your child its space, his room, his things. Don't touch and prod those things, because that helps your child to feel, yes, I'm a grown up, yes, I'm independent, yes, I'm being respected. Listen to your children more. Try and understand what they want. Don't shut them down by saying, you're so silly, how can you behave like this? This is crazy. And the most important point is, stop being the puppet controller. Your teenagers are no longer that easily controllable. So these puppet strings that you are holding on and making them dance, and you're saying, oh, they're pulling, oh, they're rebelling, because now their bodies and minds are growing, and those strings and ropes from which you have been making them dance are no longer going to manage to control them. And don't reach a point where the tug of war between your controlling and their controlling becomes so bad that the thread snaps and breaks. Don't make it reach that point, because then to bring it back to that point where you can have the communication channels open, a loving and chill relationship with your child will be destroyed. It will take so much more work. So when you feel that this much of controlling is happening and that is leading to aggression, chill, parents. And like Alia stated, the fear is what we talk about in our 4-week parent coaching program. We look at all the areas of your past that you are bringing into your present parenting and how it is impacting and causing these negative parenting habits in your life. So for March, I only have one spot left. Contact me via sunaina@gmail.com and I will give you details about the 4-week parent coaching program. That's all from me for today. Happy listening. You can go back and listen to the live and put your comments below, and I'll be going through all the comments. Any more comments for now? Let me know. Take care. Bye for now.